Today, we'll look into real-world examples of social engineering and password management failures. We'll cover what went wrong in these cases and discuss what strategies to prevent similar incidents in the future. Here's a quick disclaimer. Some of the details may not be fully disclosed, as is common with cybersecurity breaches. The information is based on public sources and aims to educate. This presentation uses various sources adapted for educational purposes. For more detailed reading, you can refer to the resources at the end of this presentation. Targeting both undergraduate and graduate students, this case will explore social engineering, password management, and two-factor authentication. Content is up to date as of May 2024. By the end of this presentation, you'll be able to explain what social engineering attacks are, outline the best practices in password management, and identify measures to prevent these attacks. So let's talk about, in 2016, hackers accessed Mark Zuckerberg's Twitter and Pinterest accounts because he used as a password across multiple platforms. This illustrates the risk of reusing weak passwords. Social engineering played a role here as attackers exploited password habits following the LinkedIn breach. In this and in other cases, phishing emails were used to steal passwords, demonstrating how social engineering can be easily led to major data breaches. For example, in September of 2016, a hack revealed Michelle Obama's passport. This breach occurred through the social engineering tactics targeting a White House contractor's email. It highlights the risk associated with insecure email practices. Zuckerberg's case is a clear example of what not to do. Good practices include using unique passwords for each account, avoiding personal information, and setting up two-factor authentication whenever possible. Studies reveal that users still commonly use guessable passwords. Improving password security means moving beyond passwords alone, requiring multi-factor authentication and enforcing complex password policies. Back in 2008, hackers exploited publicly available information to answer security questions and reset Sarah Palin's email password. This shows why security questions should be difficult to guess or include special characters. The lesson here is clear. Avoid using personal details in passwords or security questions. Consider using password managers to store passwords securely and also enable multi-factor authentication whenever possible. Studies have shown that mnemonic-based passwords derived from phrases can be both memorable and secure. However, if they follow predictable patterns, they can still be vulnerable to attacks. Users often choose mnemonic passwords based on popular phrases from songs, movies, or books. While this helps with memorability, it also makes these passwords vulnerable to dictionary-based attacks if common phrases are used. The Yahoo data breach in 2016 compromised 3 billion accounts. The breach illustrates the massive scale and impact that poor password management can have. 1.5 billion Yahoo accounts were hacked in 2016. 2 different and independent hacks. Given the frequency of data breaches, many people have had their passwords exposed at some point. Tools like haveibeenpwned.com can help you check if your accounts have been compromised. If you struggle with remembering, use complex passwords that are at least 12 characters long, include a mix of letters, numbers, and symbols, and avoid using the same password across multiple sites. And if you struggle with remembering passwords, consider using a password manager. They help generate and store passwords securely across multiple sites. If two-factor authentication adds a layer of security to traditional password-based methods, it combines something you know, like a password, with something you have, such as a smartphone, or something you are, like a fingerprint. Although two-factor authentication enhances security, it can also be inconvenient if devices are lost or stolen or what have you. Best practices include using hardware tokens or authentication apps, and educating users about phishing attempts. So many popular websites offer two-factor authentication, including social media platforms and banks. Although it may be a bit inconvenient, the added security is 100% worth the effort. So as before in other videos, the discussion questions are an opportunity for you to pause the video, discuss with a colleague, a coworker, a schoolmate, or just ponder yourself. So let's discuss the main weaknesses in password management that we've covered. What practices contributed to the breaches? Why do mnemonic-based passwords offer a balance between security and memorability? And what are the risks associated with using them compared to randomly generated passwords? How can the integration of two-factor authentication enhance security, and what challenges might users face when adopting this technology? For more information, check out the resources listed here. They provide additional insights into password management and social engineering case studies. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.